Episode of the Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Neighborhood Domains. Every business needs a domain name, including yours. Visit neighborhooddomains.com and use offer code MARKETING to get 10% off hosting.
On this episode of the Marketing Podcast, the mobile commerce race is heating up, a sassy bot at the Vegas Mall, deep personalization with United Airlines, and Houzz strikes it rich with augmented reality.
Creativity sells. Applying the right creative at the right time is the recipe for great marketing. The Marketing Podcast looks at marketing news and finds the secret ingredients that make great marketing.
Hi, welcome to the Marketing Podcast. I'm Heather Watson.
And I'm Brendan Quigley.
How you doing today, Brendan?
Excellent.
Still loving your mobile phone?
Oh, yeah. Love it. Where did it go?
You asked me that earlier.
I think it's behind me.
Yeah. Is it like Google Pixel 2?
I wish.
Oh.
But it's next best thing. It's the essential phone.
Oh, I actually thought it was the Pixel 2.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
The essential phone.
I need a new phone.
The essential is a great option.
I need a new Apple phone.
Then Apple's an okay option.
I don't know. I'm going to keep mine for a while, but today's episode is about mobile. So get your trusty Android or iOS device and let's talk about mobile marketing, shall we?
Definitely. I'm nodding.
Okay. Yeah. It's audio. This is an audio experience. You have to woo them with your voice.
Ooh. Did that work?
Oh, wow. That was so bad. Remember, we are doing in the middle of our listener survey.
That's right.
So let's not.
Best behavior.
Let's not. Team Heather's going to win.
I don't know.
Okay, so we are talking about mobile, and the first story is coming out of Marketing Dive, and it is about the mobile commerce race, which is, if it wasn't hot already, it's heating up. Here we go. Instagram has expanded its shopping tool to Instagram Stories. So you could already shop through Instagram ads. Now you can shop through Instagram Stories. Brands like Adidas and many others that I haven't heard of are already using the feature. Shoppable Instagram Stories will have a shopping bag sticker. Users can pause the story to tap and see more details, including additional images of the product, other products in the story, descriptions, price, and a link directly to the brand's site.
Did you hear that? You can link from the post.
From
the story post.
The story post.
Directly to your site.
Right. To make purchases, obvi. More than 1/3 of Instagram stories users said they've become more interested in a product or brand after seeing it on stories, Instagram said in their blog post. Also, in related news, Snapchat has expanded its e-commerce offerings by allowing shopping within Snapchat stories. Who's copying whom? So people are using this for tickets to games and other events. Snapchat has tested a feature within its Discover section that lets users make purchases, and the platform has expanded the test to include Snap ads and story ads. Snap also created shoppable augmented reality lenses in its self-serve ad platform and launched a bidding process that uses Snap Pixel to track purchases and help advertisers monitor conversions. Thoughts?
I think this is a big deal.
It is a big deal. The race is heating up, I said.
I know, but I'm pretty sure... We were talking in an earlier episode where I don't like to go shopping. I don't like to go into stores. And if I do, it's I have to. It's the last option. And I do prefer the Amazon app to making purchases than going on to Amazon.com. It remembers all my stuff and away I go. I really do think that a majority of the customers out there are living in Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, having the ability to direct them directly to the product in the cart. That's fantastic.
It makes life a whole lot easier. Now, both companies have dabbled in the shoppable features before. It's just this move into stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, stories, I like stories in Instagram.
I think that's where people are.
It's a big rabbit hole for me. I don't spend a lot of time on Snapchat, I'll be honest with you.
I don't add to my story too often in Snapchat, but I sometimes go into the discovery, more of a discovery than an actual look at my news sources in Snapchat.
Yep. I also don't mind just regular Instagram ads compared to Facebook or Twitter
Interesting.
ads. Yeah. I don't know if it's because when I'm scrolling up on my phone, that's the only thing on my phone. Whereas in Facebook, you kind of get them in the peripheral, like on the side banner.
Yeah, right.
And, you're seeing sponsored content. And you're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, my friends like it. I get it. Whereas when I see it on Instagram, it's like, ooh, this is
It's targeted to you.
It's targeted as it is in Facebook. I just feel like it's more relevant to me.
See, and the other place where I see this is really beneficial is like, let's say you're a camping store, like you can build content around your product and then link to your product.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be like it can almost be influencer style where it's like, take a look at this backpack and how this backpack works in a little story video. And then the next story can be like, and this is another feature of the backpack. And the next story can be like, this is another feature of the backpack. And each story can have a link to that product. And in that way, you're really like, you're giving value. You're showing this new backpack with these cool features, but you're also giving them an opportunity to jump over to your store. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen an ad and been like, that's cool, wanted to go click on it, but whether the app refreshed or I got a phone call or I jumped out or this or that or the other, I went back, and because of the algorithms with the way ads work, poof, it's gone. At least with the story, it's there for the day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so, like, if you're a small business selling products and you're thinking about using shoppable posts, I would take, less than an hour, but sit down and write down the names of your top products and the features or the reasons why people might buy that product. And then, like, it's really quick, one a day, to make a little story about that product. And now you're filling up your social, like we sometimes talk about content calendars, and we talk about engaging, and we talk about, like, really your goal is to educate your potential customers and your audience about what you sell and how it works and all that kind of stuff. This just gives you an easy way to do it while still linking to your product.
Yep.
Instead of having to, like, I don't know, put out the videos and then, like, and don't forget to go to our profile to click the link to see the...
Yeah, links in the bio.
Yeah.
Links in the bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a really neat way to do it, for sure. And I look forward to doing some stories that allow people to buy now. Vegas. I love Vegas.
I'll admit it's somewhere I want to go.
It's a fun place.
Yeah.
There's a new bot at Planet Hollywood, Miracle Mile Shops. That's really, really cool. I'm just going to read you about it because I think it's pretty awesome. And this is coming off of off the wire, actually. So Miracle Mile Shops at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas has unveiled an automated intelligence conversation platform. We're calling her Jules. It combines the speed and accuracy of artificial intelligence. That seems like a bit of an oxymoron.
Accuracy?
Actually,
Okay.
with the ease of real conversation. So they have a chatbot which has a witty, sassy, and friendly personality, which in Vegas it's gotta, right? Like, it's gotta have a little bit of wit and sassiness to it because the whole town's witty and sassy, which reflects the mall's chic and lively shoppers. Jules converses through Facebook Messenger on the shoppers' mobile devices and computers, and she's available 24/7, able to answer your questions about the center stores, restaurants, and shows, as well as nearby food and beverage options, parking, and security. And it's location-based and can provide specific answers based on where the users are within the 475,000 square foot mall, which I've been to. It's pretty big, and there's lots going on inside. So what does Jules actually say? Do we want to hear some of the stuff? I had a line here.
Definitely.
So here we go. When you open up the chat bot, she says, "Hey there, I'm Jules, your Miracle Mile Shops expert. I know pretty much everything there is to know about my fave place to shop, so fire away." So then when she was asked, "What's up, Jules?" the chat bot replied, "Oh, I'm just a girl sitting in front of a phone asking it to message me." But, then it goes on. If a smartphone needs service while inside the mall, are you addicted to your devices too? I'm so guilty. And then it talks about how the Source Electronics is exactly what you're looking for. And there are 2 locations inside the Miracle Mile shop. I don't think she's that sassy. I don't think she's that witty.
No?
I could do it better, Jules. I should be the voice of Jules. That'd be fun.
Again, not scalable, but
True.
you could try.
I could try. It'd be fun. So anyways, they're trying to increase foot traffic and make sure people know everything that's going on in the large space. And it's kind of a cool way to use the chatbot.
I think
And
audio is the way it's going.
As opposed to Messenger?
Well, like Messenger is like the stepping stone, and I think that there's a lot of things you can do with Messenger, but like this idea of having the bot, like the skip and the jump is that this bot will be talking. You know, like the futuristic movies we see, there'll be like a hologram of Jules standing in the lobby of the mall, and you'll walk up and say, "Hey Jules, where do I find shoes?" And she'll say, "We have 3 stores that sell shoes."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where we're headed. And the reason I say that is because I'm looking at my own kids. Like they literally don't realize that remotes exist for the TV. They just talk to Google.
And it's not just because yours has been lost for the last 5 years,
No,
like ours.
this is it. But they just talk to Google and it comes up.
Right.
And my oldest is even getting a handle on like what show we watch where. She's like, "Well, that's not on Netflix." I'm like, "How do you know it's on Netflix? Like you literally never browse Netflix."
Right.
Right? But it's because we always go here for that show and there for that show.
Right.
And so it's gonna happen. Like it's gonna the change is just gonna happen. Everything's going to be speakable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a bot like this is really smart. Get it going now. Start train, especially if it's built on actual AI. Start training it now, and by the time that audio kicks in, it'll be so accurate.
It'll be way smarter.
Scarier.
And the Facebook bot platform is probably one of the easiest ways to get a bot going for your company. I would say the top 3 would be Facebook, the Google Dialogue, like the Google Assistant platform, and then the Amazon Alexa. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to note here, this isn't the first foray into advanced technology that the mall has executed. Last year, they opened the Tipsy Robot Bar with robot bartenders. Drinks are $14 each. Customers pay, then get a QR code, that was the fail, on their smartphone, after which the robot prepares their drink order. And it's been going on in the same location at the Miracle Mile shops.
The thing that I think super exciting about the chatbot, to go back to it for a second, is it's location-based.
Yeah.
So depending on where you are in the mall,
yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I know we talked about last episode or the episode before or whatever, we talked about creepy Facebook, you know, data that they're collecting, but one of the things can be the location, you know, and the mall's so big that they can.
I mean, it's not so big. It's over a mile, but I mean.
But they can pinpoint you in that mile.
Within that block, so to speak.
Yeah. And so that's really.
And there's a lot
neat.
happening there, right? Like there's just so much pulling for your attention in the mall, like the individual stores, people handing things out and people and sites, and it can be overwhelming.
Right.
So to be able to kind of look at your phone and say, "Oh, where do I go for shoes?" That's kind of cool. Yeah. So it's a neat little piece that they're doing.
Good job, Jules. Good job.
Yeah. Jules, what a name for a Vegas girl, a Vegas bot. Okay, so I think you just mentioned I peeked up a little bit when you said about, you know, getting too much information about you. United Airlines.
Oh, no.
I know. Oh, no. But this is kind of oh good, but also on the edge of oh no. They have a mobile app that is kind of on the edge of deep personalization. I'll make sure to say that right. And it's a little on the creepy side. The airline is developing this new app, and they're trying to balance personal service with invasive nightmare scenarios, where a gate check agent takes a look at your United profile and wishes your grandma good luck on her hip replacement operation or something like that. Right? So what they're trying to do through this app is basically take so much information from you that they want to know everything they can possibly know about who is seated in 7C, so that the flight attendants can have a better way of interacting with them. But the reality is the line between personalized and creepy is different for different people. Do you like it when we come up and wish you a happy birthday? We're trying to figure out where all that falls within the line.
This makes me think of restaurants. Like for our anniversary, we went to a fancy restaurant, and they asked 2 really important questions when we first came in. Is this your first time? And then a little later on, they said, are we celebrating something today? Because they're a fancy restaurant, and when a couple comes in, it's usually celebration, and it's sometimes your first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the way we answered those 2 questions dictated if we got the free dessert or not. Right. And that was their way of trying to surprise and delight, to
Mm-hmm.
make it a really good experience, especially because it was an anniversary and it was our first time, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I noticed them doing it for other people as well. It's just like a policy that they have.
Right.
And we spent like a lot of money on the food. So yes, that $2 cake.
Right. And I've seen restaurants go so far. I think I heard this from like John Taffer, who's pretty, excellent in his knowledge about how to make restaurants tick and get
Mhm.
those added sales and value, where it's like, if it's your birthday, they're going to be putting, or your anniversary, they'll put a particular colored cocktail napkin
Yes,
down,
yes.
versus if it's your first time, they'll use a different one. And then everybody who encounters you.
I think that was in the back of my head when I was in the restaurant.
Right.
Because I had heard something like that.
Yeah, and then everyone who encounters you in the restaurant be like, "Oh, happy anniversary!"
Exactly.
Because it's like, "Wow, word travels fast," but you feel special.
You do. And you know what? It's a great policy, and I think restaurants should look into doing that because it's really good. However, when I fly, I like to be anonymous.
When I travel, I like to be anonymous. Yeah.
And so I would I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the same thing, but for flyers. I think they should stick to the data they have, not try to get more. And the data they have being first-time flyers with United.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, this doesn't go into grave detail about how deep they're wanting to, because this just came out of their executive vice president of technology and chief digital officer was speaking at Skift Tech Forum down in California a couple of weeks back. So it just kind of came up anecdotally. It wasn't an official interview and dive into it. But I think it raises the question, and this is what it comes down to for me, is personalization in your business, however you can personalize your product, services, or service, your customer service, a good thing for you and for your customers? Or is it better just to know your customers so well and only offer 4 products, right?
Yeah.
Or only offer, service in a particular way? And part of that has to do with your ability to execute. But it also, I think, has a lot to do with not wanting to overwhelm customers.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's because they know too much information about you. Like, I don't want them to say, hey, good luck with grandma's hip surgery. Like, I don't want that. I don't want them to ever know that. But it's also like, well, Heather, we know that you have an affinity for, wine from the Southern Hemisphere, but we also know that you like, Ontario red wine. So here are 6 different choices and hand selected. And I'm like, I just want Old Faithful, the one particular white that I always like to drink, right? For example. So then it's like, oh, I don't know. Should I try this? Should I try that? Should I try that? And it just becomes overwhelming for me.
I think you shouldn't go far beyond what you're capable of yourself doing. And the problem with a big business like United is there's so many different people. They want to try to pass the information to all the right people. I think if you focus on the small businesses, B2C, you know what I mean? You should just get to know your customers, maybe follow them on social media. Like, that's appropriate. That's the information that they're putting out there. In our industry, B2B, we always try to get into the headspace of our businesses, the clients that we work with and their businesses. And it's totally okay for us to be like, we saw you in the news, or we've been following you on Facebook.
What's in the public domain,
exactly.
I think, is what it comes down to.
Exactly. But I think for a large airline, like, while this is cool, they should focus on the data they already have. Don't try to collect anymore, and just focus on making it a good experience for everybody.
Let's just focus on not losing my luggage.
Yes, exactly. Yes. They've already got issues.
Yeah. Let's just focus on, making sure that you don't oversell my flight.
And the other place too is, I think, airlines, only because we always hear bad stories about airlines, but these large companies tend to get more traction practically out of the fixing issues well, and then delighting people who ask for something that they're not actually expecting.
Right.
If that makes sense. As in, you don't need to go out of your way.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, but you don't need to go out of your way to research one of your clients to make sure that they have an excellent time if they never asked for it. What you need to do is deliver exactly what you said you deliver, and then they'll walk away and they'll come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not gonna, whereas
I don't want to make friends with people.
Yeah, well, not when I'm
That's like
traveling.
sounds, yeah,
no,
no.
not when I'm traveling.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I do in some regards. Like I want to talk to. I'll go to the grocery store and strike up a conversation with the clerk, right,
Yes.
as I'm checking out.
Yep.
But that's me. It's like, oh look, oh you're in training. How long did you start here? Did you just move to town? Are you doing that? Like where's home for you? Don't ask me about me.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you my story. And if you ask me, I'll probably make up a lie.
And that's a good way to go about it too. Like you can still build a relationship. It's just have your staff trained on how they can share their stories instead of trying to pull information or creepily find information from the people flying on the flight.
Yeah, or just read literally, instead of waiting for an app to tell you, read the surroundings around you. If
Yep.
you're a flight attendant on a plane and somebody's got their headphones on and their head down and not making eye contact, don't say, hey, hope grandma's got good surgery.
And I'm sure, what, to be fair, I know that flight attendants already do that. They're already good at that. Maybe a better way to do this is don't make a creepy app, but empower your flight attendants to, it's like you're allowed to spend $20 to make someone's day.
Yeah.
Like empower them to do that. And I think they'd surprise United.
Yeah, it's true. So
I can't help but think United breaks guitars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Can't
Like
help it.
just do something right.
Yeah.
Don't create more errors or more points where things can go wrong. So that's a mobile app that they're working on. Houzz, which is another place that I like to hang out on the interwebs. HOUZZ. ZZ. I call them ZZ. ZZ. Houzz.com. Are really starting to finally, it seems, get some amazing traction, and it's because of mobile augmented reality. So really now you can just see how that couch is going to look in your living room is really what it comes down to.
This is like an obvious step for anyone who sells furniture.
We
now.
talked about when the iPhone 10 came out, back in the fall, about how, this is finally making augmented reality more accessible and available to consumers. So AR Kit was one of the tools that was put on the market as a result of this for developers, and Houzz has now rolled out, or has been for a while, it through their platform, and basically you can plan your rooms using it.
I think this is really good to pay attention to, because more and more of these online retailers are jumping on this to make it possible to preview. The technology's there. It's just a matter of time before it becomes accessible to the small business world.
Yeah,
in like a tangible way.
Yeah, and it's not. Houzz is just the one example that I looked into with Retail Dive. But there were other ones that were mentioned as well, including Build.com, Wayfair, and Overstock.com. Again, these are all things that you want to be able to place on your floor, in your living room, in your backyard, to be able to see how things look. And AR is really making that possible. The iPhone 8. This is all, yeah. So this is all timely again because of iOS 11 at the latest iOS conference about a month or so ago now. And they're now bringing those AR services down. So it came out for iPhone 10, but now they're bringing them down into iPhone 8. So more people are going to be able to access these AR services. More consumers are going to be able to. They don't have to have that $1,000 iPhone 10 in order to be able to access it. They can access it with the older model. So it's kind of cool. I don't know how smaller businesses, like you say, the affordability, the access is becoming more widespread, and it is just a matter of time. But if you own a business and think that you want to dabble in that space, probably one of the first things you should do is start playing with Houzz and Build.com and Overstock and find out how they're using it and what works and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the other mobile piece. Is that it?
That's it.
Man, we're at the end. So now I do really want to talk about the listener survey. We are doing. This is episode 42, and we've been enjoying our journey with you so far, and thank you all for listening. We would love to have your feedback, and we're doing a listener survey at acorn30.com/podcast, and please share your thoughts about what's working, what's not working, what you want to hear more of, or what you don't want to hear any of, and share your thoughts and views, and we would really appreciate that. Is that about it?
Yep.
So please do our survey. And thank you all for listening to us and being part of our journey for the Marketing Podcast. I'm Heather Watson.
And I'm Brendan Quigley.